Welcome to Movie Speeching. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take good care. Blast from the Past is the name of the movie. Please like and subscribe to get every update. In 1962, relations between the United States and the Soviet Union were extremely tense, and there were rumors that the Soviet Union would soon drop an atomic bomb. Panic gripped the American people, and it became common to build bomb shelters in their backyards. Dr. Calvin worked very hard on his bunker, filling it with enough supplies to last for many years. One day, Calvin and his pregnant wife Helen held a party at their house. Everything is going well until they see a television broadcast featuring President Kennedy announcing that they are planning a secret mission against the Soviet Union. There were no detailed information, but Calvin was still frightened and thought a fight was about to start, so he kicked all the guests out and dragged his wife into the cellar. A few seconds later, a plane flew over the city and suddenly detected technical problems. The pilot could do nothing and crashed straight into Calvin's house, completely destroying it. In the cellar, Calvin heard noises and felt shaking, so he assumed that war had begun and quickly closed the door. He explains to Helen that he cannot open it by hand. The door will open on its own after 35 years, the time it takes for the nuclei to normalize in the atmosphere. Soon after, authorities arrived to examine the debris left behind by the crash, and since no evidence of life was found, they assumed Calvin and Helen died in the crash. The days begin to pass and Calvin feels at home, but Helen hates the place. One day, her water finally broke, and with her husband's help, she gave birth to an adorable baby boy. Soon, the days passed and their son Adam grew up into a smart child. Calvin teaches him everything he knows and hopes that Adam will one day rebuild the country back to its former glory. In addition to all the basic school subjects, Calvin also taught Adam to fight, speak French and Latin, and manage the stock market. Helen taught him housework and even dancing. Calvin also gives Adam his baseball card collection and tries to explain the sport to him, but Adam has a hard time imagining so many people. Both parents taught their son how to behave very kindly, but never cursed the son, who grew up very innocent and sheltered. The family easily found a routine that fits into daily life, such as shopping at convenience stores, keeping fake fish in an aquarium, taking care of plants, and building an extra bedroom for Adam. They also have a seating area for reading, playing games, and relaxing while hanging out. Meanwhile, above them, the land that had once been used for housing was sold and over the years became a diversified business. First it was a restaurant, then a pizzeria, and then a nightclub. In 1995, Adam turned 33 years old and received gifts handmade by his parents. As he blew out the candles, he wished that one day he would find his ideal life partner. Helen mentions that there are only 2 more years left, and Calvin says that he will miss this place when the time comes, causing Helen to go into another room to express her disappointment. In 1997, 35 years finally ended and the door opened. The family was excited to go out, but Calvin told them he should do a quick check first to make sure everything was safe. After donning an anti-radiation suit, he took the elevator and appeared in an abandoned building that had become home to a group of drunken beggars. Melker was so shocked by the image of a glowing man emerging from the ground that he fainted. Calvin then leaves the building shocked at all the changes. Graffiti was everywhere. People used guns like toys. Adult stores were full of goods that disgusted him, and people had strange looks that he couldn't understand when they talked. Terrified, Calvin rushes to the bunker and explains that although the air is breathable, the surrounding area is still a post-apocalyptic wasteland filled with crazed mutants. He concludes that they must be in the bunker, and his words finally cause Helen to break down. She yelled at him, explaining that she was tired of being locked up and how important it was for Adam to be exposed to nature. Calvin refuses to change his mind, and the argument causes him to have a heart attack. When Calvin became ill and supplies were almost exhausted, Helen decided to send Adam out to get enough food to last several years. She gives him money and a shopping list, telling him to stay at the Holiday Inn and keep an eye out for a girl who hasn't been moved yet. Before Adam leaves, Calvin tells him not to enter the adult video store because it has harmful levels of radiation. After packing up, Adam finally went out and discovered that Melker had built a small temple around the elevator to worship Calvin's family, considering them sacred beings. Adam went out and was extremely happy to finally see many things for the first time: the incredible sky, the buildings, the trees, and even other people who thought he was a weirdo. He gets excited about every little thing and greets anyone who passes him, accidentally using slang to refer to a black woman when he greets her because he gets so excited when he sees a skin tone other. As he passed by the adult video store, he covered his nose and warmed himself to others who did the same. Then he got on the bus and was very afraid of the feeling of the machine moving. When he tried to talk to other passengers, he used old words that no one could understand, so they also thought he was crazy. Finally, Adam went to the grocery store and started choosing all the items on the list. The butcher explains that if he places a larger order, it can be delivered to his house, which makes Adam realize that he has no idea how to get back to the bunker. Panicked, he rushed out of the store and spent the day on different buses searching for the bunker, but to no avail. He's also short on money, so he goes into a hobby store to sell his father's baseball cards. The store owner could have said that these were old and valuable cards, but instead of telling Adam, he offered to buy the whole set for just $500. Before Adam could agree, Eve, the store assistant, interrupted them and told Adam that he had been scammed because each of these cards cost between $4,000 and $6,000. Eve insulted her boss and quit her job on the spot, causing Adam to be very impressed with her and begin to develop feelings. As they left the store, Adam asked Eve to take him to the Holiday Inn. At first, Eve refused and tried to run away from him, but she quickly changed her mind when Adam promised to pay her 2 baseball cards. During the trip, Adam picks out all the old songs on the radio, which Eve finds quite odd. As soon as Eve dropped Adam off at the hotel, she left without saying a word. Adam went to his room, and when he looked out the window, he was shocked by the view he saw from the 18th floor. Then he liked to watch color TV. I also remember waking up very early to watch the sunrise. The next morning, Eve visits Adam at the hotel to return the card because she feels guilty about being paid so much for such a simple task. She then tries to leave, but Adam stops her with an offer. He will pay her to be his assistant and she can help him collect everything for the bunker. Eve agrees and they go shopping together to buy enough supplies to last another 2 years, renting several trucks in the process. Adam also shocked her when he revealed that he wanted to find a wife. After they finished shopping, Eve took Adam to her place and he met Troy, her roommate, who started asking Adam a lot of questions when he noticed how surprised he was by all technology. Adam lied and said he was from Alaska and was here on business. Meanwhile, Helen gets too curious and gets into the elevator, but as soon as she gets out, she sees Milker and his creepy friends and immediately leaves. The next day, Troy decided that Adam needed a makeover, so he gave him a whole new wardrobe to make him look even better. In the following days, Eve and Troy took Adam to many new experiences such as dancing to modern music, skateboarding, and watching the ocean. Adam was so excited that he jumped straight into the water without worrying about anything. He also gets to watch a baseball game and finally understands why his father likes it so much. One afternoon it started to rain and Adam stood in the rain, completely amazed. When Eve came to see him, Adam hugged her to share his joy and said that his father would call it a miracle. In the evening, Eve and Troy take Adam to a swingers club at his old school to find him a woman and they tell him to be himself. The women at the club were immediately attracted to Adam's sweet personality, respectful demeanor, and good looks. Eve's rival quickly attracts her attention and they begin to get close, which makes Eve jealous. She pulled Adam aside and told him that she needed a sweet woman in her life, not a whore. Adam then asks another girl to dance and they take over the dance floor, impressing everyone with their incredible dancing skills. Eve tries to ignore her jealousy and chat with her ex-boyfriend, who taunts Adam and provokes him into a fight. However, Adam uses his boxing lessons to quickly scare the guy away. Angered by the movie, Eve leaves the club and goes home alone. When Troy arrives, he informs her that Adam has left the club with his rival, causing Eve to realize that she loves Adam and rushes to find him. She got in the car, but before she could take off, she was startled by someone knocking on the window and fell to the ground. It was Adam who took her inside and tended to her scratches while explaining to her that he had to turn down other girls because he couldn't stop thinking about Eve. Adam confesses his feelings for Eve and they finally kiss. Now that they are together, Adam decides to finally tell Eve the truth about his family and homeland, adding that he wants to marry Eve so she can live with him in the bunker. However, Eve thought he was really a crazy person, knew how to hide, and immediately kicked him out. The next day, Troy took Adam around town and taught him how to drive. Suddenly, Adam sees the adult video store from before and follows the path to find the building above his bunker, where Milker started the whole elevator cult. Excited, he ran to Eve to tell her the news, but discovered that 2 psychiatrists were waiting for him. At first, Adam pretended to cooperate, but as soon as he saw an opening, he ran away. While one doctor chased him, the other tried to call the police, but Eve stopped him and realized that what she was doing was wrong. At that moment, Adam ran up to her and gave her his hotel key so she could pay the bill by card. He then escaped in the truck he rented, accidentally hitting the doctor's car. Later, Eve and Troy go to Adam's hotel room and find a bunch of items made in the 60s, not to mention Calvin stock certificates now worth millions of dollars. These things made them realize that Adam had told them the truth. Meanwhile, Adam finally returns to the bunker and hugs his parents after not seeing them for 2 weeks. He tells them that the outside world is lovely and carries supplies loaded by Milker and his friends. Back to Eve, she's desperately searching for Adam, so Troy takes her to the adult video store and they start stomping on the ground thinking they might find the bunker there. They obviously didn't find anything and decided to leave, but on their way out, they saw Adam about to enter the neighboring building. Eve immediately rushed to kiss and hug him, and Adam invited her to meet his parents. Calvin and Helen liked Eve very much and they had dinner together. Calvin also lectured Adam about the birds and the bees. But before planning a new life, Adam asked his parents to wait 2 months. Over the next few weeks, Adam and Eve sell Calvin's shares and build a new house in the countryside that looks identical to Adam's previous house. Melker also helped after cleaning up and eventually quit drinking. When everything is ready, Adam takes his parents home, revealing that they can gradually get used to the new world. Later, while Helen and Eve were cooking dinner, Adam finally tells Calvin that there never was an atomic war, that the bomb was actually a plane that crashed into their house, and that the Soviet Union collapsed. Calvin refuses to believe it and begins planning to build a new bunker just in case. Subscribe to watch more videos like this, leave a comment about your favorite movie, and we will make it next. Thanks for watching.